now, which has got him a championship. The 22-year-old is the Xfinity Series champion.
I love you. Thank you, guys. We do it all year long. We got to do it just as we said in. I don't know when it's going to set in. It'll be like Daytona again. Take a hot minute. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. Where can I burn this thing down at?
The young driver started racing go-karts at 4 years old. And now the 22-year-old Californian said, we're going to burn this down. Tyler Reddick, the 2018 Xfinity Series champion.
Yeah, Wayne, I hear you now. Not true. They told me to stop.
Tyler Reddick is probably still wondering exactly what just happened. Waiting for the instructions from, you mentioned Wayne Auten will come on the radio. The Xfinity Series director. And now he sees his team. Tyler Reddick's going to bring the 9 in front of the 9 team. Be much of that flag left. It is, and it just got torn off. It got caught in the tire. The Xfinity Series champion flag, and it's gone. And here comes the champion. Took the quarter panel with it when it took the flag off. Marty?
Rick, I'm not sure what was more impressive, his performance on the track or the burnout that left your quarter panel on. There's your flag. Tyler Reddick, your 2018 Xfinity Series champion, everyone. The hat, towel. Congratulations, Tyler. 22 years old, out of California. As a kid growing up in California, running all those dirt races, did you ever dream you would be a NASCAR champion someday?
I just knew we had to execute, and the year wasn't the smoothest for us, but I knew coming in here, if we just made it to Homestead, this is a great track for me, and it rewards my aggression. And tonight we hit the wall a lot, but the car kept in one piece long enough for me to get to the end, so I'm really sad. My flag didn't last very long. I already ripped it apart, but I was determined to get to fourth gear and burn these things down. These guys worked so hard all year long on our Burger 5 Chevrolet. We had to overcome a lot, and this year was all about just learning. It was an up and down year, and with everything we had to do it in the playoffs and reward us with a championship. So we hang our hat on that. I know people say, well, we're consistent, but we mattered when it counted when we mattered most.
I know what you mean, and I want to talk to you about the season. You win Daytona, but then in the middle, you said some very rough times. Were there times where you doubted you could even make it to Miami?
I knew this team could make it to Miami. I knew all of our guys with Junior Motorsports on this team could make it to Miami. Justin Allgaier, Elliott Sadler, and Michael Annette have had good speed all year long. It's just a matter of executing, and we had plenty of opportunities to win races earlier in the year, and I just didn't execute. So I picked a really good time to get my life together and decide to win a race.
They're pulling in a championship stage behind you. It's got your name on it in front of all these fans. He gets to raise the Xfinity Series championship trophy.
Well, there you have it, the championship for Tyler Reddick. He's going to be quite
champion owner, Dale Earnhardt Jr.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. up there as well. Congratulations to Tyler Reddick.
Kelly Earnhardt Miller will be down there as well. Tyler Reddick, the 22-year-old from Corning, California. Started the season with a win at Daytona. Thought that might be the biggest win of his career, winning at that historic racetrack. And now he becomes the first driver ever to win the first and last race of the season. Tyler Reddick, the 2018 Xfinity Series champion.
Only from Bank of America.
And preparations beginning for the celebration that's going to take place. The crew is going to push that car back into position. We heard Marty mention the stage already in place. The guy who ran second today won stage 1 and stage 2. Cole Custer is with Kelly.
Cole Custer led the most laps today. Unfortunately, they weren't the ones that counted the most there. Cole, how much of a difference did that pit strategy make for you today?
I don't know if that was all of it, but it didn't. I don't know if that was, looking back on it, that was the right thing to do. But I think if I could run the top better, we would have won also. So it's just we got so far behind, and once I caught him, our tires kind of equaled out, and then he started running the top, and I couldn't keep up with him. So congrats to Tyler. I'm happy for him, but it's frustrating. But I just got to thank everybody at Haas Animation, Gene Haas, Tony Stewart, everybody that's behind us. It was a good year. We're really close. It's just it sucks to be second.
We saw you make the move to get up to the wall at one point, but to your point, how difficult is it to go there and chase down a guy who's been running the top all night long?
Yeah, I couldn't do it. I don't know. I think that's just something I need to practice, I guess. I don't know. I don't know. I'm at a loss for words for that.
When you came into this, you told me that you had never competed for a championship. I know you come up a little bit short, but how valuable is the experience of being here on this stage?
It means a lot, being through this scenario. And I thought we kept our calm all day, and we did a great job. It's just it didn't play out right at the end, but we still have something to hang our heads about. We still won the Owners' Championship, which is really awesome, but still wanted that. Still wanted the Drivers' one, too.
All right, so they clinched the Owners' Championship, come up just short there for the Drivers' title.
Kelly, this evening, Christopher Bell ends up 11th, a lap down with problems there at the end, but it didn't look like the day started well for you, Christopher. What was the night like?
Not the night that we wanted, that's for sure, but just overall the season was excellent. We had really fast Camrys week in and week out, and unfortunately tonight I just wasn't good enough. But hats off to everyone on this Team 20 for Joe Gibbs Racing, everyone back at the shop. Thank you for building such fast race cars. And congratulations to Tyler, man. He did a great job, and he went out and attacked all night, and it paid off for him.
You guys had a strategy move that you had to try to do, be the first to pit. You executed it perfectly. Did you think that might help you out and get you to the front spot?
Well, it worked for a minute. We got out front, but we just weren't good enough. I mean, bottom line, I wasn't fast enough, and once the tires started wearing away, those guys just drove right back by me. So maybe if we got out front and then a yellow could have came out, we could put more tires on, might have been able to hold them off. But bottom line, just wasn't good enough.
You were patient to wait to use the top as well. How bad was it up there?
I mean, it was okay. I just wasn't fast. I kept moving up, and I just wasn't good enough up there. So I don't know, coming back next year, just need to come back in here maybe with a different mentality, and instead of trying to take it easy and not run the top in practice, not run the top really in the race, maybe just go out there and do it, get used to it. That's what Reddick did this week, and it paid off for him. But the 00 was really fast, not running the top, so we got some room there to improve on our car, to get it better down. I can look at driver data going back for next year and try and get myself better here, but bottom line, just wasn't our night tonight.
Rick, sounds like Christopher Bell and the whole team did everything they could tonight to try to get there.
The future looks great, though, for the Xfinity Series, as far as the talent that we saw on the racetrack and the way this championship was won. Tyler Reddick, we know, is going to be back in the Xfinity Series in 2019. A 22-year-old with his first Xfinity Series championship. Third driver, following in the footsteps of Chase Elliott, William Byron, to win the championship as a rookie. Again, we saw Christopher Bell and Tyler Reddick were both rookies and both a part of this championship four.
Chase Elliott, William Byron, and Tyler Reddick all driving for Junior Motorsports. So what a crop of young drivers coming through that organization. We see where Chase Elliott has gone to. Cup Series winner in the Cup Series playoffs. William Byron, Rookie of the Year at the Cup Series. You mentioned how great it is for the series. Tyler Reddick will be staying. Christopher Bell will be staying. Cole Custer will be staying. It's going to be a tough series next year for sure, Jeff.
Yeah, it is. It's going to be a really difficult series. Good to see these young guys stepping up in these moments. And Reddick said it. This track, it rewards his aggression. There's some tracks that doesn't work on, but this track rewards it, and he took advantage of it. Great job.
We see Dale Jr. as well as Kelly Earnhardt Miller celebrating with Tyler Reddick getting beat up right now by the guys. He had a lot of stress because he was running inches away from the wall virtually the entire race, but it has definitely paid off for Tyler Reddick as he is the 2018 Xfinity Series champion. And talk about big wins for Tyler Reddick. Starts off the year, very first race, and it was that close between Elliott Sadler on the inside. Tyler Reddick closest to us and gets that win. We mentioned it was a tough road to get to this championship for, and in the end it was pit strategy and the guts to run right up against the wall that got Tyler Reddick not only the win to bookend the season, but also the championship.
I like what Christopher Bell had to say. You know, only nice things about Tyler Reddick. He said maybe we need to change our approach, because I think that's where Tyler Reddick had it figured out. It started all the way back in the test session. They came here and they ran the top all day for 2 days. Let him hit the wall, let him make mistakes. Dave Allen's encouraging him to go figure it out. And Jeff, from the first start of the first lap, the 9 went right to the fence, right to the top of the racetrack. And it wasn't perfect. You mentioned it. He did hit the wall a few times, but the car held up in the lap times he were able to put down. I mean, he drove away to almost a 7-second victory.
It makes you wonder if some guys are sitting in their motorhomes right now rethinking their strategy for tomorrow's race. Because you just saw a guy just rip the wall all night long, make contact every now and then, but at the end of the day, still with plenty of speed to get it done, even with the car in the wall several times.
And interesting you mentioned that. One of the favorites probably for tomorrow's race is going to be the 42 tomorrow. And so amazingly, that is who Tyler Reddick has kind of emulated in his career. Such a young age. And there the winner sticker goes on the car of Tyler Reddick. And you see the smile finally coming out. To the victor goes the spoils. And it's time for Tyler Reddick. You saw Mike Lynette come in there, congratulate him. Cole Custer's making his way in as well. Pretty impressive. Two young men battling there all race long. He gets congratulated from Wayne Auten as he's heading up the steps, getting a little bit closer to being able to celebrate this championship. There's Brad Keselowski that's also down there congratulating Tyler Reddick. He's almost on the stage, Krista. We're going to throw it down to you.
Yeah, he's working his way up here, Rick. It's time to give out some hardware to the 2018 Xfinity Series champion. Tyler, come on over. I know everyone wants to congratulate you. We're going to start right here with the Senior Vice President of Marketing for Comcast, our series sponsor, Peter Intermaggio.
Tyler, congratulations. You know, we call this the series where names are made, and never more true than tonight. It was a long road from Daytona here to Homestead, but you put on a real clinic tonight. It was fantastic. So on behalf of 100,000 employees of Comcast, we'd like to congratulate you on our newest champion, NASCAR Xfinity Series champion for 2018, Tyler Reddick. Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you very much, Peter. And I know know you've been eyeing that trophy for a while, so let's go ahead and give it out. Here's NASCAR Executive Vice President Steve O'Donnell with the honors.
Yeah, Tyler, great start to the season in Daytona. You got to win. You ran great all year, up against the wall all night tonight, which is tremendous effort. We're extremely proud to have you as our champion. On behalf of the France family and NASCAR, we want to say congratulations to you, Junior Motorsports Chevrolet. We're proud to have you as our 2018 champion. Congratulations.
Go ahead and step on up, get your hardware. He had to travel further here than any other of the Championship 4 drivers. You're not going to let that thing go. You just hold it anytime you want. Congratulations, but when we saw you cross the start-finish line, it's almost like the moment hadn't sunk in. What did you think? Had it not at that moment?
It seems like whenever things like this has happened in the past, whether it's winning at Daytona or just finding a way to win when I least expect it, it just doesn't really sink in. It's slowly starting to, faster than it did at Daytona the first or the second time, because I'm holding a trophy that's Xfinity Series champion. So it's just a great moment. This isn't going to be the year that, you know, the best car all year one. We had to fight really, really hard. I made a lot of mistakes, a lot of growing pains, and my guys just never gave up on me. This whole number 9 group. We dug down deep when it mattered most, and when the playoffs came around, we dug down and got it done. We had to run good, and we were consistent, and got to Homestead, and knew if we got here, we had a really good shot at getting this championship done.
You said it in the pre-race interview when you talked about how you were going to race this. I know you don't want, you can set it up there anytime. No, he's not letting it go. He's going to keep it. You said that this racetrack rewards your style of driving, aggression. You were going to run it right up to the wall all night, and that's pretty much what you did. Is that the difference? Is that what won you this championship?
I don't know about that. I just got a great group of guys around me. As we've ran through the course of this year, we've had our fair share of opportunities to run up against the fence, work on a notebook, if you will, to make our car better up around the fence. And when we got to come test here in August as a rookie, it helped. We got to get a lot of things out of the way, but we just had to do the right things at the right time, and Dave made the right call to come pit early and got us ahead of those guys. And once we were ahead of them, I wasn't going to let them back by. So we just had to go for it, and it worked in our favor, and now we're champions.
Did you show your boss? Looks pretty good.
Well, he's got a few of these.
Yeah, he knows what he's doing. Let's bring Junior over here, too. Kelly, you guys, it's amazing what I'm going to slide in here, LW, real quick. It's amazing what you guys have been able to do at Junior Motorsports. The third time you've brought a first, as Justin Allgaier comes up, a first-time driver in this organization wins a championship like Chase and William before him. How do you guys do that? How do you find that time?
I think we might need to ask this 9 team and Dave Ellens and all the guys. I mean, I wish we could bottle up how we do it, because if we could, we'd do it every year. I'm proud to be here, proud of Tyler. I don't think coming into this year that people thought he would be a contender for this, and he just drove a smart race and had a lot of good help from Spotter, Earl, and Dave, and here we are.
Okay, so this is the only way you get out of the broadcast booth, by the way, is being able to come up here on the championship stage. What were you thinking, too, knowing that we saw your other drivers come up here and congratulate the Tyler Reddick, who we on the broadcast called maybe an underdog or a dark horse, not necessarily the favorite all year to win this, and now you guys are the ones standing up here on the stage?
Well, I think Dave Ellens probably knows Tyler better than any of us, and he told me on the way to this race that if they could get a chance to race at Homestead for the championship, that they could win it. And Dave had a great strategy tonight that cycled Tyler into the lead, and Tyler had the speed and the nerve to run the laps he needed to keep the lead. I'm telling you, to run on that fence like he did at the end of that race, that takes some precision. And he did such an amazing job doing that. And he earned it. He earned the victory tonight. He earned this championship. Dave and those guys put him in position to make it happen. So, team effort.
Where is Dave? Is Dave back there with the crew? I know we can't get to the interview all the way back there. All right. Well, I feel like I knocked LW out of the way. I can't knock him out of a deer stand, so I'm going to knock him off the championship stage. But he's talking to the championship driver. Congratulations, everyone at Junior Motorsports. Tyler Reddick, you bookend the season. You won 287 miles away to start the year 10 months ago in Daytona. He wins at Homestead, Miami, your 2018 Xfinity Series champion.
And we see just how strong Junior Motorsports is with Kelly Earnhardt Miller, the co-owner and vice president of the organization, running that business on a day-to-day basis. We've seen the successes that have come from that organization. William Byron winning a championship, Chase Elliott winning a championship, now Tyler Reddick wins a championship, and that celebration will continue for quite some time, at least the smile on his face. I think it's sinking in. He made the comment that Daytona didn't sink in right away, and now holding the trophy in his hands, I believe winning a championship is going to sink in very quickly for Tyler Reddick.
Well, I think he admitted it. It wasn't the best car all year long. He says there were times in the summer in which it struggled, but I think made it most valuable. It wasn't a late restart, Jeff. It wasn't a crazy something during the race. He was the best car when it mattered, and that's the finale. We know how this playoff format works. You have to find your way into the playoffs. You have to advance to the playoffs. There are a lot of ways to miss advancing. The 9 continued on their path, and he knew if they could get here, they could do it, and he proved it. Lap after lap after lap, inches from the wall. Dale Jr. called it precision, maybe courage. I'm not sure what it is, but either way, it worked out.
Clearly, everybody's going to focus on this race and what he was able to do at Homestead, getting it right against the fence, lap after lap after lap. But let's go back throughout the playoffs. And he talked about mistakes that he made during the regular season. He needed to get better. But in the playoffs, he was really the model consistency. In the next to last round, he kind of got a point, got out there in points and kept it. Didn't make those mistakes. So, a driver maturing, a very aggressive driver, put himself in position and got to a racetrack where he knew if he could come here, he'd have a shot at winning this championship. So the work he did to get here was really, really good. And then tonight, he executed, winning the championship.
Well, there's more hardware that needs to be given out. And so for that presentation, let's head back to the stage in Krista.
Thanks, Rick. Yes, there is a separate Owners Championship to be awarded. So now again, here is Steve O'Donnell with NASCAR to make that presentation.
Tremendous year for Stewart Haas Racing all year. Cole Custer, a great effort tonight. Gene Haas, what you've done with your organization, Xfinity, and the Cup Series has been tremendous. Tony, we appreciate the partnership each and every year and want to congratulate you on our 2018 Xfinity Series Owners Championship.
Thank you. Oh, that's it.
All right, as they take photos, I'll let them take a couple of photos here and then slide in to interview the 2018 Owners Champions. Gene, I know it's not all of the trophies that you wanted after today's race, but this means something, everything that you do and pour into Stewart Haas Racing to walk away with this trophy tonight.
It's always nice to win a trophy.
And what does this mean to the men and women who work the hours at the shop and come in here and that maybe don't get seen? We talk so much about the championship picture, but it's all those random Tuesdays, Wednesdays, practice sessions. That's for them as well.
Well, it takes 52 weeks to get here, and now they're looking at another year before they can come back and do this again. So it's disappointing not to win, but it's always good to have a trophy for something, and this is a way of congratulating them for the hard work they did.
Absolutely. All right, Tony, slide it over here. I know the weekend's not done. This is a Saturday, so it's nice to have this. Not everything that you guys wanted to take off the racetrack today, but it means a lot, as I asked Gene, to everyone, the men and women who work for the team and wear the colors of Stewart Haas Racing.
Yeah, it really is, and it's so impressive to see what these guys and this group has done in 3 years to get us in a position. We were excited about coming to this race, obviously, after what Cole did here last year and how dominant he was, and he ran an awesome race today. I'm not so sure we didn't get him behind the 8 ball on pit strategy, but he drove his tail off, and the guys did an awesome job. The pit stops were good all day, just came up a little bit short, but really proud of everyone at SHR and everyone at Ford that helps out with this program. It's awesome, and excited about having 2 cars on the circuit next year.
Well, I know this is all about the Xfinity Series, but you've been on these stage situations as a driver, as an owner. There's some unfinished business tomorrow as well. What do you go to bed tonight thinking of your chances and your team's chances for that?
That's the hard part, just going to bed. It's literally the hard part, but we got a 1 in 4 chance, obviously, and there's 4 great teams that made it last year and this year, and we just got to be able to put the whole day together. It's just like today. It's a long race tomorrow, and you have to be able to put it together at the end when you need it the most. But I feel like we got the right guy behind the steering wheel and the right guys making the calls. So I like our chances.
All right, now here today too. I know Cole, they already talked to you, but congratulations, Cole, on your input in making this happen too. Congratulations. I know they already talked to you, but congratulations on this Owners Championship and all the work you did to earn that.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Honestly, I couldn't do it without the whole team that's behind us and everybody who stood behind us, Tony and Gene and Haas Automation, everybody who's a part of this deal. You know, we've had a great year, won a race, and you know, just came up a little bit short of the Drivers' Championship, but it's awesome that we still get a championship, and it's something that we can really hold our heads high about.
And I know how these drivers are. It makes them even hungrier for next season. Rick?
Yeah, Krista, you know something that stands out to me is we just heard from two owners who are icons of the sport. Dale Earnhardt Jr., owner of the Drivers' Champion, and Tony Stewart, owner of the Owners' Championship. I mean, those two icons of the sport still invested heavily in this sport, but what a weekend it has already started to be for the Xfinity Series, seeing the championship won by Tyler Reddick, the Owners' Championship going to Cole Custer and Stewart-Haas Racing.
Yeah, and overall, a great year. The Xfinity Series, we've seen some really good races this year in the Xfinity Series. We commented every week about, wow, that was a really good race. So you've said it several times. You know, we've got a lot of young drivers in this sport that are staying. Tony just said they're going to have 2 cars next year, you know, 2 full-time cars. So more talent coming into the series. So, you know, the future of this series looks really, really bright with the talent that's in it.
And I think the format, I think we have a great format where there's stages and points and playoff points and all of these different ways to make the playoffs, advance through the playoffs. Regular season success is rewarded. While it didn't get Justin Allgaier to the championship it did perhaps get Christopher Bell through the playoffs. A win ended up getting him here. I think we had 4 different organizations, 4 great competitors. In the end, though, Tyler Reddick running the fence consistently made it happen. It really makes me want to look forward to tomorrow. What are we in for? Because last night in the trucks was a great race. Another great race tonight. Really a nail-biter. Even with very few cautions, it was never predictable. Nobody knew who was going to win it. Ended up being the perhaps the underdog in the 9 car.
Well, we said underdog, so is there an underdog tomorrow? I guess that's one of the questions that we're going to have to answer. We're here until 7 o'clock, so make sure to stay with us here as we celebrate the championship of Tyler Reddick, Stewart-Haas Racing, again, the Owners' Championship. But what a run that Tyler Reddick had to get that championship. And one of the championship 4 members, Daniel Hemrick, a little bit short, was with Dave moments ago.
So a long night for Daniel Hemrick, not what you were looking for. Where did the speed that we saw early, and it looked like you had a shot, where'd that go?
We just, you know, once those guys started pitting early, that next to last run, you know, we've been committed to the bottom, and really we're making a lot of hay down there, and kind of unorthodox around this place, but our 21 Southland Hotel Encino Chevrolet, that's where it was best all weekend. So I was committed to it, and with those guys pitting a little earlier than us, our bed was made to try to run to the 00 until he pitted, and by the time we did pit, we went so long that we'd given up, oh hell, I don't know, at least 9 seconds probably to the leader, and from then on I couldn't even see the guys we were really racing. So I applaud, you know, Danny Stockman, though. We tried to do something different. It just didn't shake out. So proud of these guys either way. They gave me a platform and the opportunity of a lifetime over the last 2 years to run with these guys. I love each and every one of them, and thanks to South Point and Chevrolet, everyone at ECR and RCR, it's been a privilege to try to get this Xfinity program back to where it needs to be. And so cool to see my old teammate, who'll be another teammate of mine next year, Tyler Reddick, win the championship. I mean, those guys really came into their own throughout the playoffs, and he's one of the best around here. Him and Dave, you know, they earned it, and now he gets to jump ship with us next year and try to make another run at it.
This morning, Danny talked to me about this team and you, and what a strong team it was. He said it may be the strongest one he's had in racing. How will you remember this year, Daniel?
I'll remember exactly by those words. It's the most bonded arm-in-arm team I've ever been around in my entire life. So the pleasure was all mine to be a part of this group of guys. I hate we couldn't, you know, check the win box or the championship box these guys, but everybody knows that the last 2 years we've grown substantially as people and as racers and as a race team, and I'm proud of that. I have faith that it'll all work out when it's supposed to one day for all of us. I wish all of them the best, and whatever we all end up going and doing here from here on out, I'm just you know, extremely humbled to have known these guys and work with them the last 2 years.
Last run for this group, no Daniels. Wishes he could do better tonight.
Okay. Well, Elliott Sadler promised the post-race party on pit road. Post-race party has started. Big cheers with your guys a moment ago. This is the way you wanted to celebrate and go out, Elliott.
Yeah, well, look, man, if, you know, racing with Junior Motorsports the last couple years, congratulations to Tyler and those guys, by the way, really changed my life. A couple things in my career changed my life, but this was definitely one of them. That Kelly and Dale was so good to me. These guys work their butt off week in and week out. They deserve better than what I gave them here the last couple of weeks. But all in all, I have had a time in my life the last couple years, and they've treated me like family, and they've worked so hard for me, and I want to just have a little beer toast with them to tell them thank you for this one last ride.
You and I have talked a lot over the last few weeks, and you told me, number one, you haven't regretted for a moment the decision to retire, but that, number two, as it got closer, you really were looking forward to that day and it being the final day. Why?
I don't know, man. I'm looking forward to the next chapter of my life. I'm looking forward to spending time with my kids and watching them grow and pursue their dreams. And I've said that a bunch, that I've pursued my dreams long enough, guys. I've been doing this 23 years, and I've learned a lot. I got so many good friends. Dale Jarrett has meant the world to me, helped me so much in my career. Kevin and Delana Harvard gave me a chance of a lifetime to drive their truck when I was on the outside looking in, really. And I've had great sponsors along the way, One Main Financial, Hunt Brothers Pizza, Armor Chill. All these people have been with me for so long. It's a lot to cherish, but I think I have so much to look forward to in my next chapter. And I'm looking forward to coaching kids and being around kids, especially mine, and watch them pursue their dreams and hopefully grow into something that they'll be proud of.
One thing I got to talk you into, you told me last week we're not going to see you at the racetrack anymore.
Nope.
Come on, just for a couple days. Come hang out with us.
Well, I told Dennis Bickmeyer, you're going to see me at Richmond. Okay. I'm going to come to Martinsville probably, but I'm going to be tailgating with these fans, drinking beer, and watching those guys put on a heck of a show.
The other thing he said, Rick, is he's going to sit on his couch on Sundays and critique us and watch our shows. So there you go. So he's going to watch us on Sundays. Elliott Sadler, final day behind the wheel.
I think that's a good thing that he has all of our cell phone numbers, too. So we'll probably get a text every now and then. But you see the numbers and the start and the end. We witnessed it tonight of Elliott Sadler and what he was able to do. You see South Boston, July of 1995, the debut, 23 years. He mentioned that. A great career for Elliott Sadler.
Yeah, Elliott Sadler, won races in all three series. And on top of that, really did the things the right way. Aggressive driver, but a clean driver, and always gave you respect on and off the racetrack. And, I believe that, the greatest compliment that can be paid to you is the respect from your peers. And he certainly has the respect of his peers.
I remember very emotional wins for him at Pocono in the Truck Series, and then again at Darlington in the Xfinity Series for Elliott Sadler. But this night belongs to Tyler Reddick. He earned this championship. He had to go out and win the race, and to do that he had to run inches off the wall for almost 200 laps. What a champion Tyler Reddick has won. It's time now to go to Krista, Kyle, and DJ.
Thank you, Rick. And we are located just in front of the championship stage as the photographs continue behind us with that winning 9 team. The third time that the number 9 has carried a rookie to the Xfinity Series championship for junior motorsports. Chase Elliott, William Byron, and now Tyler Reddick. So we're going to talk about Elliott Sadler. I do want to get to that, but I like Rick said, I think the night belongs to Tyler, and the way he was able to stay in this, we called him kind of a dark horse, Kyle, an underdog, but he said he was going to run right up against the wall, and that's something that Dale Earnhardt Jr. even commented.
Yeah, look, he called his shot. And we heard other guys say, you can't do that for 200 laps. We heard Christopher Bell say it last week. You can't run up next to the wall for 200 laps. I guess you can, because Tyler Reddick did it. He ran up next to the wall, he ran through the wall, he ran up, scraped the wall, and he said it before the race. Yeah, I'm gonna put some scratches on this car. I'm gonna run up there. I'm gonna make something happen. But that's the way I'm gonna attack this racetrack. He did it from the very first lap, and he did it the last lap when he came and took the checkered flag. So he called his shot. The other guys may have changed the way they raced. Tyler Reddick did not change the way he run this racetrack.
No, he came in here with a plan. He told us of his plan, and he did that plan perfectly almost. He understood that these composite bodies that are on these cars versus what are on the Cup cars tomorrow, much more durable. You can get up there and scrape the wall a few times, and it's not going to hurt the handling, and it's not going to get over and rub the tires. And he did exactly what he said he was going to do. He stayed committed to that, even though it looked like the first part of the race, the first half of the race, that really wasn't going to be what was working. Matter of fact, I even heard his crew chief or his spotter one tell him, you might have to search around if that top's not going to get it done. Well, he stayed up there, stayed committed to that, hit the wall a few more times, and kept on trucking. And that was just a tremendous drive. I felt like that I was kind of watching Kyle Larson in that race car getting the job done at this racetrack.
Yeah, we weren't able. Dave Ellens was back on that stage right there with his crew, as he should be, so I wasn't able to talk to him on the championship stage. But yeah, we saw the emotion. You mentioned his spotter, Earl Barbin. One of the images of how excited he was to win this race and this championship, the Xfinity Series championship. Yeah, as we continue to get you ready for tomorrow's race, it's Championship Sunday. By the way, I do want to say it. I don't know if they come back to us on camera. My notes say this front stretch is banked at 4 degrees. I feel like I'm a lot shorter than you. No, I should be on that.
You're on the wrong end.
I'm shorter than you guys right now.
I'm going to tell you, I have to say this, and I have to say it on air, I'm in shock a little bit. I am truly, after watching Tyler Reddick win this championship, there's excitement down here over on the stage, and there's excitement, but there's a lot of shock from a lot of people too, because I think we kept talking. Cole Custer. He's going to get it done. We saw what he did last year.
Yeah.
Tyler Reddick just schooled these guys. Yeah. He just schooled these guys. These 4 guys, he schooled them on how to run up next to the wall, and they schooled them on pit road. How to make a pit call, where to put themselves in the right position. They had to come in here and run a mistake-free race as far as calling it, as far as what he did on the racetrack, and they did a great job. I mean, it's incredible what they did.
Yeah, I would have to say, Kyle, that maybe that's the beauty of this system that we have gone to, that, okay, you have to do a body of work to get in this. Well, he won the first race of the year at Daytona, so he put himself into the playoffs by doing that, and then he got more consistent in the playoffs and worked his way through each round. So all that you want to do is have a chance when you get here against 3 other drivers and get it done. Not only did he beat them pretty solidly, but he went on and won the racing and got the job done. So I'd have to say that if you look back and say what everyone at NASCAR wanted to do was that give all 4 of the guys the opportunity. Didn't have to say that you had to be the best throughout the entire season. You have to be the best on one day, and he was that by far.
Okay, no, coming up, I do want to ask you guys about that. You've mentioned Cole Custer, how strong they were, and their strategy and decision to kind of stay out longer. But before we go to break, because we heard from Elliott Sadler right before we came on air. Your thoughts, Dale, both of you, but really starting Dale, because Elliott mentioned the friendship that you guys have. I know you've probably talked to him today, all week, all season, about his decision. There you see the beer toast, by the way, with his crew.
I knew this was something that was important to him to kind of finish things off here. I talked to him right before the race. He said, hey, I'm okay now. I like the decision. And we could tell by his interview there, he said he wasn't sure how he was going to feel when it was all over. But you could tell that he's good with this. He's good with the decision. He's had a great career and made a lot of friends, and he's done a lot of great things in this sport and for this sport.
Yeah, I think that's the one thing that we've gotten from Elliott ever since he made this announcement. He's at peace with it. Yeah. He made the announcement. Nobody forced him out. He made the announcement. He made the decision. He made that call to go home and spend time with his family. And listen, I'm going to have to agree with him on this, because he said, you might see me at Richmond. You might see me at Martinsville. This is a tough habit to break. It's a tough habit to break. And it is. You love the sport so much. You love the people so much. You love being around everyone. Sitting at home knowing everybody else is at the racetrack breaks your heart. Those first few races, man, your heart aches. So to say, I'm just going to go home and I'm going to sit, I'll watch you guys on TV, I'll text you and tell you how bad you're doing, because that's what he's going to do. There's no doubt about that. But at the same time, it's a brave decision, but it is the right decision for him, and he's at comfort. He's at peace with it.
Yeah, and I love what he said about, watching other kids, especially and his own kids, get to pursue their own dreams and maybe play a part in helping establish and produce maybe the next champions, if you will, in different sports as he continues to coach. Okay, the decision for Cole Custer and that team, the 00, he dominated this race, won the first 2 stages like he did last year. Their decision, and Jeff Mendering actually talked about it after the race, their plan was to stay out as long as they could, that they just couldn't run the top. Did they make a wrong choice, or was it just the car couldn't keep up with Tyler Reddick in the way that he was running this race?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, you can always look back and say, okay, we definitely should have got to pit road before we did, because we gave up too much time there. But they put themselves back into position as they ran the 9 car down in Tyler Reddick, but he couldn't hang on. Once Tyler Reddick got this thing right, I think for some reason at night, as things changed, as they made some adjustments to the 9-car, he just drove off from them. And we've always said that if you can run right up inches from the wall, that's going to be the fastest way around, especially as the tires get older and the tire pressures build up. That's the way around. And if you couldn't go there, you couldn't keep up with Tyler Reddick.
Yeah, true. And listen, it's easy. The checkered flag's already flown. We can sit here and second guess everything that happened during this whole race. That's the easy job. That is the easy job. That Monday morning quarterback.
I'm good at that.
Yeah, and it is. It is. But I agree with Dale. They didn't take themselves out of the race. Yeah. They did not take themselves out of the race. They put themselves in position. At the end of the race, when the sky got dark and the temperatures cooled down, they got beat. That's how simple it is. They just got beat on the racetrack. They couldn't make up that ground. Tyler had been up there all day long making that top work, working that top end, making it work for him. And when everybody else, we saw Christopher Bell move up, we saw everybody else move up, and as soon as they moved up, what'd they do? They got in the wall. They got in the wall hard. He had already wore the new off the side of his car, Tyler had, at that point in time. So at the end of the race, the best car on the racetrack was that number 9 in Tyler Reddick.
I know, interviewing Gene Haas, Tony Stewart, Cole Custer for the Owners' Championship. It's always such kind of a dubious, it's difficult because they want to be up there with that driver championship trophy as well. But no question, a phenomenal season for Stewart Haas Racing as well. We have more here from our post-race coverage at Homestead, Miami. The Xfinity Series Championship is in the books, and we'll get you ready for Championship Sunday when we come back.
This copyrighted telecast may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or used in any form without the authorized written consent of NASCAR Broadcasting. NASCAR would like to thank all of our fans for your support, and we hope you enjoyed today's broadcast.
I'd like to know what you guys think about the competition you're up against.
Yeah, I mean, it just depends on whether Brad or Joey are better drivers. I'm not sure.
They both run into you a lot.
They put us on a plane. They're like, hey, everybody get along. Have fun together, you know? It's kind of awkward. I'm not going to lie.
Go!
Thanks, NASCAR, for that.
Man, Elon already has a celebration planned. If you win,
we're climbing the fence. I'll watch.
That's awesome.
He doesn't look very smart, but he's going.
But you said he hasn't been right yet, right?
Hasn't been right yet.
Well, I'm liking him even more.
Just some of the activities that the Championship 4 were partaking in this week, mostly in New York. You were a part of that there, DJ?
I was, yeah, and I flew home with the guys on the plane that they had, so I got to fly back to Concord with them.
Was it awkward?
I only had to separate Martin and Joey a couple. I'm kidding. No, we had a great conversation with. They didn't show that there, but you know, I think that when they get out here tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow evening, we're going to see some pretty outstanding racing by these 4 drivers ready to win a championship.
And we've always said, though, that is one of the elements, even like the driver introduction stage. They're back there together. Here's 4 drivers who it's all coming down to one race, and they're all together all week.
You know, it always fascinates me that that's the way this sport is. We all use the same locker room right over there. It's called a garage area. We all park beside each other. We practice beside each other. We show everybody what we got or what we have and what we've brought to the racetrack. And then we stand on stage and make a show out of introduction like, yeah, here we are. We're all here, people. We're getting ready to put on. But it is fascinating to me that the job is to go out and beat each other. And not just beat each other. In Kevin Harvick's word, once you get them down, keep your foot on their neck. That's what this job is all about. So to have any type of cordial conversation to me is always fascinating.
All right, well, Rutledge Wood is still around this track. Where are you right now, Rut? You're everywhere.
Krista, I can see you guys. I'm down towards turn 4 as it's turning, straighten out here on the backstretch. The really wild thing is what an incredible race we had today. And this wall right here certainly provided a lot of excitement. You guys see that rubber that's built up on here. This is from tires and tires and tires. And you can see all that's real. It's real rubber. It's on the wall. Guess what? I just saw the track team come by here, and they've got to paint this entire wall. Not just this section, mind you, but if you take a look all the way through 3, and 4. This whole thing is done. There's a little bit of rubber over there down by you guys on 2, but keep in mind, this is a huge amount of work it takes to flip. We also saw the crew come by. They were checking all the foam for all the safer barriers, making sure everything's in line, because some of these had a little bit of a shift to them. You can even see where they painted, like right here on this one. This is the kind of impact that the walls are taking every single time. Doesn't seem like a lot, but that little gap difference is how much that piece of foam there on the safer barrier move. The track guys came by to blow this off already because there's a huge amount of dirt up here. When we talk about the rubber, the buildup, it's on the caution light above me. It's everywhere. Because if you kind of made a straight line, this is essentially right here where the crews are running. That's 1 foot of my shoe's width off of the wall, which is about 3.5 inches. And obviously everybody did not make it out. Now, if you were Kyle Larson and you were watching this, then it's definitely been proven to you that you can run this high line the entire time. But guys, we know y'all talked about it, Dale, with that composite body, that's going to make a huge difference. But this is just one of the things that has to be worked on tonight to get this entire track ready for the championship for Cup tomorrow. Can you guys believe it? Underdogs thus far have been taking the weekend. So I hope Joey Logano gets some good sleep tonight, because I'd certainly put him in that category.
Hey, Rut, was that just a shameless way to get your tennis shoes on TV?
I didn't think about that before, Krista, but it sure worked out, didn't it?
I like it. It's a great story, though. Yeah, we saw such great props and visual show and tell. I was busy. There's a little baby back here dancing. I was watching the little baby dance as well. So There's a lot going on.
There's a lot going on. I'll have to say.
I don't know if they'll let me put her. Oh, I just want to put her up on this desk. I don't know if they're going to let me take her.
If you're the painter of the walls around here, that's job security.
Yeah.
Because it happens every year, all the time. And so, it's going to happen again tomorrow. But they've got a long night ahead of them.
And going back to what we were talking about earlier, we said awkward. And if you're watching at home, you're like, well, why is it awkward? I mean, they're like you said, Kyle, they're together in the garage every week. It was maybe because some of the fireworks that have happened in the last month here in the Monster Energy Cup Series.
Would you bump anyone out of the way to win a championship?
I'm not out there to crash anybody. I'm out there to win. There's a difference between crashing somebody and racing hard.
Logano gets into the back. He shoves him up the racetrack.
I would expect people to race me hard back.
They're sideways, and it's going to be Logano getting the win.
Am I going to spin somebody out for it? Nah, it's not really me. It's not what I want to do, but I'm willing to beat and bang a little bit. That's kind of part of what it is, and there's a championship on the line.
Truex not happy.
They won the battle, but he ain't win the damn war.
All right, Martin, what will or won't you do to win Sunday night?
I won't just wreck a guy, unless it's 22.
Oh, look, I feel like we've seen that sign before.
Yeah.
They travel to all the races.
Yeah, we have.
We also saw, I wonder if the Joey Logano.
I think we saw it in Pahonix.
No, the Joey Logano fan,
Yeah.
if you ever came down off the mountain.
Yeah, he might still be up there.
Yeah, we're going to get you ready for a race tomorrow. But, okay, so here's my question. So you said, obviously, running up top like Kyle Larson does. We saw how it was the fastest way today. But you mentioned those composite bodies. Different style car tomorrow. Will they be able to run that aggressively up in that top line tomorrow?
It looks to me like you're going to have to.
Yeah.
If you're going, they've shown you the way around here. Kyle Larson, for years, has shown you the fastest way around here, especially on older tires, that's the way to get the job done. Now, if I'm one of the championship 4, I'm not going to try to do that for 300 miles of this race, because I think you'll get yourself in a lot of trouble with that. But at some point in time, you're going to have to say, okay, it's time to make this work. It's time to make this happen right now.
All right, Tyler Reddick is on his way over here.
Yes.
Actually, he's just over to our, what is that? Your left, our right. No, our left.
Our left.
Your right.
Yeah.
It's such a long day.
Oh, my gosh.
Weekend is tough. All right, Tyler Reddick, the newest Xfinity Series champion, joins us next.
I'm Scott Hoke in Las Vegas. The odds are excellent that we will have some unbelievable muscle and collector cars and pre-war classics like you're seeing now. Coming up next on NBCSN.
The 29th different driver to win the Xfinity Series championship is Tyler Reddick as he lifts the championship trophy on the stage. So I asked him, you said it hadn't sunk in at that moment. Has it sunk in now that you've had some interviews and some pictures?
It's starting to.
Yeah.
Just like Kentucky last year for us, I led a lot of the tail end of the race, and you're just running and running and running and just waiting for a caution or something to not go your way. And so I think more than anything, when it was finally over, it was just like a sigh of relief. A lot like Kentucky for me. You're just out there riding and just hoping nothing is going to happen to get in the way of winning the race and ultimately the championship. And ended up going that way. I wasn't screaming excited because I was just a nervous wreck the last couple laps, especially bouncing off the fence.
Look, Tyler Reddick, 2018, Daytona champion, Xfinity champion. I mean, how long did it take for Daytona to sink in? That's a huge deal. And then you end the year as the Xfinity champion.
It took a couple days for winning the opener to really sink in. I mean, it was. I drove home. I didn't come home till Monday after I stayed for the 500 and everything. And it wasn't until I was home laying in my own bed again. It was like, wait, the dream is a reality. It actually happened, and it's a lot like this time. And it's picking up. There's a lot of celebration. There's a championship trophy. A lot of people are here from BurgerFi, from Junior Motorsports, everybody. So it's sinking in. But I think people might think I just don't care, but it's just slowly.
We know you care, man. We know you care.
It's like, is it really happened? Did it really happen? Is it official yet? Like, okay, I'm standing here. We must be in good shape.
Yeah. You said just a minute ago that you were just out there riding it. There was nothing riding about what you did, young man. Well, you drove the hell out of that race car for 300 miles. But was there a time halfway through that top wasn't really getting it done? I mean, Cole Custer was sort of the middle of the track and the other guys were up in front of you. Did you think about, okay, I may have to change this, or I'm going to stay my course because that's how we're adjusting the car here?
Well, at the second round of the race for us, we tried to go the right way on the car, and I think we went the wrong way, just trying to make it better up there. And it seemed like the top was laying more rubber than I expected it to, and it was odd. I didn't have a clear understanding of what was going on, but I was okay pretty much everywhere else. I wasn't fast, but I was just average with the people around me. But it seemed like just the longer we would go, the top kind of came back, and actually the nighttime falling on us, it seemed to come back to life. So just got to a point there where, I mean, if you just got to make it happen. You got to go up there and you're either going to hit the fence, blow a tire and not get it done, or you're going to go up there, find some speed and catch back up to those guys. And hats off to Dave Ellens. He made a great call, having us pit before those guys, getting back out ahead of them. We unfortunately, due to my mistake, I let the 20 by me, but I guess hitting the wall was just enough to smack some sense into me and get up on the wheel and get back by him.
You know, I want to go back to that. How did the track change? Because at the end of the race, they still had a shot at you, but you just flat out run them. Like Dale said, you just drove the hell out of it. You just flat out run them. How did the track change and come to you?
Well, we were just trying to chase rear security at first, so we tried to get ahead of that and make our car tighter, and then it seemed like we just made it worse, so we tried to go back, and we kind of just stayed pretty close where we started the race. So it was a lot of confusion for me, so I can't really say I knew how the track was going. It just got to a point where I just had to just drive as hard as I could and make it work, and fortunately the car was pretty close in the first half of the last run of the last green flag run. Before we got going there and came in and got tires.
When you watch the race back, you'll get it all in order. I'm with you, dude. I'm with you, man. You're doing great.
We've talked about this system, the playoff system, everything that is there now. You win the first race, you know you're in the playoffs, and that happens to be one of the biggest races of the year. And then if you're going to win another one, it might as well be the last. But, I mean, does it give you kind of a sense of feel of where NASCAR was going with this and the system that allows you to not have to be perfect all the time, but get the job done at the end and get yourself in that last race?
Well, for sure, the way it is right now, we all had to execute come playoff time. We would have great speed at times, and we'd put ourselves in position to capitalize and get win and get bonus points to further cushion ourselves for the playoffs. But rolling into the playoffs, we had the odds stacked against us. We had Justin Allgaier, Christopher Bell, who had a lot of bonus points, and they just had to run smart races. And unfortunately for them, it was chaos in the playoffs, and we had consistent races and we survived. I think because I won and locked myself in at Daytona, we kind of just were always in the just go for it mode, and I was making mistakes and tearing up good race cars. So when the playoffs came around, I had to kind of button down and just be smarter, more so than I probably was in the regular season. But a good lesson learned going forward into next year to just probably have the playoff mentality more often, and it would probably work better for us.
Okay, good. I've been around this sport a long time, which means I've been wrong a lot of times, and I've eaten a lot of crow. You start strong at Daytona. The year kind of does one of these things. And I'm going to eat crow here. I didn't have you as the champion. I honestly didn't. I'm going to be honest with you.
That's quite all right.
Yeah, no, I'm going to be honest with you. When did you look at yourself and say, by God, we can be the champions?
I mean, I knew before the year started, if we just got back to this place and we were one of the 4 drivers going for the championship, we had a good shot at it. Just my background and how good we ran here last year, and how good I ran on 1.5 miles even throughout the year. So right away I knew if I can just get here, we had a really good shot at it. And we got the test in August, being a rookie. That helped. We got to work on a lot of things, and practice didn't go right, but fortunately our car wasn't where it was supposed to be. So when we unloaded today, we're like, man, if we can get things right where they're supposed to be, we should be in pretty good shape, and it turned out to be that way.
Well, congratulations, Tyler. Congratulations on the championship.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, you're a champion, man. You're the champ.
I know your night's not done yet. I think NASCAR's going to take you. You're going to be doing some photos down there in between turns 3 and 4, which are really cool coming up.
They can keep me all night.
Yeah, that's what I think.
Tonight, you are the man. Do it, dude.
I love it. And you weren't giving up that trophy up there either. I loved it.
I like holding on to it. It's heavy, but
it is worth it.
Congratulations.
All right, Tyler Reddick, the 2018 Xfinity Series champion. Now the question is, who will be the Monster Energy Cup champion? We're going to talk about it a lot tomorrow, but what do we go to bed tonight thinking?
We're thinking I'm standing next here to the champion. That's all I'm going to think about tonight, Tyler Reddick.
So he showed us that you run up by the wall, you've got a chance. I know all the drivers racing tomorrow. We're watching too. We will see you tomorrow here at Homestead, Miami.